This is not a story about professional athletes. This is the story of 4 people who are in school or have jobs and decided to come together to chase down new goals when their original goal of making regionals was taken off the table.
I think the people in CrossFit, and especially the competitors, are so passionate. They care so much because we're in a sport of pain. We're in a sport that takes commitment, time, dedication. So when you have your goal taken away, their first initial reaction is they're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be like, well, what the heck, you took this away from me. Now there's no more regionals. Well, what does that mean? Does that take away my credibility from the past that the regionals that I've been to? But in my mind, I was like, you have more opportunity now. And now they're even calling it sanctionals, because if you really look at it from a farther point of view, it is regionals. It's just at a different stage. And now there's 20 plus different stages instead of 10. And it may not be like sanctioned by CrossFit where everybody is doing the same events at the different regional locations, but I think it's just that's kind of the sport of CrossFit, right? Like, there's a lot of variability, there's a lot of factors that play into it, a lot of stuff you can't control, a lot of stuff you can't control. And I just think this change was just, in kind of a funny way, a very CrossFit thing to do.
So then I was there for their execution on Sunday morning of workout 19.3, which was a 12-minute AMRAP, 10 synchro chest to bar, 10 synchro overhead squat, and then adding 10 reps per movement per round. So 10-10, 20-20, etc. After watching it, you have a plan, you go into it, the Mike Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Sometime within the structure of a workout like that, somebody gets punched in the face and they don't know how to communicate and change the plan. And so then that unforeseen limitation that gets hit by one person basically snowballs into the team being dragged down by that one person. It was really cool to see people hit those limitations and then continue to strategize, communicate, plan, them run up to the bar and, Hamilton yell, dude, can you squat right now? Even though Tyler had just gotten off the bar, and Tyler picked up the bar and squatted. And they had this very seamless, very quick decision making. So there are all these very, very little things that are very hard to articulate, but it's kind of easy to see when you watch chemistry get developed. So I don't know what the exact thing is. I just know that watching them, they had very good communication skills in a fatigued setting. So not just like, hey, we're standing around hanging out, like, hey, I'm glad you came up, getting to know one another from a friend perspective. But when shit got real in the workout and they're at a maximum level of fatigue, there was no judgment, there was no like, oh my God, this happened, it's your fault. There was no blaming, it was all positive, and it was all 4 people that wanted to get the best score possible no matter what happened in the workout. And I think that makes for a good team. I don't know if that's the variable that makes a great team, but I think whatever they have going on, their communication, why they're doing it, what TGT means to them, what the other 3 people mean to them, like whatever that is, they have a really good dynamic with regards to it. So Kylie has a flight booked out. She doesn't live here, so they basically had 1.5 days to do all the workouts. So get through all 3 workouts. Sunday afternoon, Kylie's got to leave, basically sit down, do some analysis, and try to make the decision as to do we redo? And redoing is a really, really, really important part of online qualification processes, especially with regards to the open, where 3 or 4 reps could mean the difference of hundreds of placings on the leaderboard. But as people start to get exposure to a specific subset of tests, that one exposure and feeling it and then re-strategizing relative to the first attempt allows people to do so much better on the course of a specific workout.
I'm a big believer in redoing workouts. I very rarely, if ever, have regretted it, even if I haven't done better, because it just makes me sleep better at night knowing that I at least tried.
Ultimately, we decided on 19.1 because we thought that trying to repeat 19.3 immediately after doing that workout was not going to be a high likelihood of success.
Kylie's hands were ripped open. We were already kind of tired from the the grip workout the day before, and then that one was pretty grip intensive also. So it just didn't seem like it would yield a positive result on that one, even though it was probably the workout that we needed to improve the score upon the most. It just wasn't realistic with the amount of time that we had together.
19.2, we thought we executed pretty well relative to our team's capacity, and that kind of left us with 19.1 as the option to repeat.
I could tell that everybody really wanted to give it a big effort to improve. Everyone was bought in. No one was afraid of repeating it and feeling the pain again. We were open to different strategies. Everyone was throwing in their ideas. It flowed really well. There wasn't any butting heads or anything where we were arguing.
Ultimately, we decided that the only way for this workout to get better was to improve on the row. So we sat down, talked about how to do that, and Tyler came up with a really good idea of transitioning a lot. So I think he and Mia each did 6 separate intervals on the rower. Kylie and Hamilton, I think, did 5 apiece. And that ended up shaving, I think, 40 seconds off of the row time from the first time. And I was like, that's going to be easily the best chance of success. They all kind of looked dead on their feet, but it worked.
Oh my.
It was awesome. Everyone was so amped up and excited. Even like when Tyler was lying on the ground, he was like pumping his fists and yelling. And it was just cool that we could come together we had all met Kylie 24 hours ago, done all these workouts, strategized, worked together. Everyone bought in and really committed to making that last workout, the repeat, as good as we could possibly make it. And it was just so exciting that we executed it so well. I think that was what the major high was that we had this plan and we nailed it.
Oh man, when they crushed it, they were pumped. It was really cool to see them go out on a high note. I think that kind of sealed the group's bonding. I thought they were doing a good job the whole weekend, but that coming together as a team, fighting through a lot of soreness, you could see in their eyes that they were all really tired coming into that last session, but pulling together and performing as well as they did, I think really kind of brought the team dynamic together.
So our goal was to qualify, period, which in this competition meant top 40 elite teams go. So we wanted to finish top 40. So Monday, scores are due, uploading videos, getting everything ready. Everyone's looking at the leaderboard all day. And I'm looking at the scores that are rolling in for 19.1 in particular, and they're just nowhere near our score. And I went through the video, I counted everything multiple times. I did the math 2 or 3 times by myself, and then texted Ryan and was like, hey, can you double check this and make sure that this is right? Because it just didn't seem real that our score was that good. 8 o'clock hit and our score was still number 1, and it was a really cool feeling to see that and know that we achieved that together, and it was just so far out of what we had thought we were going to do that week.
So right now, after the conclusion of week 1, they're in 13th place. Qualification is top 40. So, mathematically, assuming that, nobody gets hurt and there's only 2 tests left, pretty likely that they'll make it, which is cool. But it's also never a certainty. So you got to go out and, Kylie's got to get here next weekend, and we got to actually put out some good scores to ensure that the qualification bid is. So I hope that they go out, and I hope that they have great moments, and I hope that they're in contention to win and that they get event wins. But if that doesn't happen, if it doesn't play out that way, I feel personally that I'll be okay with that. Now, whether or not they will be okay with that and what their expectations of themselves are and what they want to do on game day, that's another story. And that I think is for them to define, and that's what the competition floor does to paint the story.
So we have 2 workouts left. Kylie gets in Thursday night. We'll have her for 3 days this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She'll leave Sunday afternoon, evening. So we'll make the most of those 3 days, post our scores on Monday, and hopefully at that point we'll qualify and go from there.
If you want more information on our one-on-one personal coaching, our competitors program, our online courses, or any upcoming camps, head over to trainingthinktank.com.